This is Meltdown Live, presented by MyBookie.ag. Use code NEXTROUND at MyBookie.ag for double your initial deposit. You sign on to make a deposit, they double it with code NEXTROUND at MyBookie.ag. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere. MyBookie.ag.
Welcome into the Meltdown, ladies and gentlemen. I am Tim Melton, and this is our lovely little pop culture campfire that we all huddle around here, 2 o'clock Central, 3 o'clock Eastern, every single weekday. Thank you for being a proud Meltdonian, and thank you even more for hitting that subscribe button and that little notification bell so you never miss when we go live. Let me introduce you to a cast of characters that we will be talking with here in the Culver studio today, including Tyler Lionel Johns. Tyler, how are you holding up, my man?
I'm doing good today.
Good.
Had a good lunch.
Good.
And, ready to talk some movies. Ready to write on this whiteboard you've given me.
We are definitely going to be doing that. I'm hoping that none of the TNR guys notice that we've taken their whiteboards here for a second, but it's a fair trade.
Them. Well, I don't even know why I'm saying that like they're watching.
Well, you know what? They may be through the window. I do want to introduce as well our special guest here in studio today. No, do not adjust your screens. That is not EG sitting in the chair. That is Jason Collier. You guys get mixed up for one another occasionally, very rarely, but Mr. Collier, how are you doing here on this Wednesday? And thank you for coming back for your second ever appearance on the Meltdown. We didn't scare you off the first time?
No, not at all. And this be our love of Tom Cruise movies that, gets EG and me kind of mixed up in people's minds.
What is your favorite Tom Cruise movie? Do you have one right off the top?
I really like Vanilla Sky, and I also like Tom Cruise in Magnolia.
Wow, those are some deeper pulls.
They are
Normally
deeper
that's
pulls,
not
right?
where people are going for their first round draft picks. So that's good stuff. That's going to make our edition of best versus favorite very interesting today, because I'm going to pull some random celebrity names and we'll be talking about what their best movie is compared to what our favorite movie of theirs is. And that'll be happening later in the show. But I got to start with this. Your love of physical media. You love physical media. Obviously the shirt says it all. What is it about physical media that you so passionately want to keep alive in your day-to-day life? Because it's like a mission for you almost.
Well, it is. And I think because when I grew up, that's something I collected. I remember seeing Columbia House, and they did the CDs and the cassettes, but they also did VHSs, and I was dying to spend $10 like in shipping and get a bunch of VHSs for a penny a piece. And I was never into reading. Unfortunately, my mom tried. She read me books constantly, hoping I would become a good reader, but I was never a reader. But I love movies. So on my shelf, instead of having books, I had VHSs. And it just brings back nostalgia. It's something physical you can touch. I'm just not a person who likes to even read on a Kindle or a iPad or anything like that. I like to turn the pages, and I like to for movies. I like to have the case.
The art. It immediately gives you an emotional rush. Exactly. A lot of people don't understand that, but I'm definitely right there with you. I will say as well, and this doesn't really have to do with physical media, but when it comes to distribution of new media, Tyler and I pretty much only get jazzed up about stuff that's going to get a theatrical release. I mean, if it's going straight to streaming, typically we can't get as excited for it, even though we love movies. And a lot of people can't really wrap their head around, well, I mean, if you love movies, why aren't you buying the new one that's digitally released for $29.99 this weekend? And it's like, well, because we also love going to the actual theater and going through the process, even though it can be very frustrating at times. Tyler, have you wrapped your head around why that is that we care so much about theatrical distribution compared to just movies being released on all these different platforms?
Oh, wow. It's a loaded question.
It is a loaded question.
I think it's because we both like movies as not just an art, but we like the exhibition and presentation of movies. We like movies as a social connector of sorts, whether you're going with friends and then talking about the movie as you're walking out, or just bonding over movies in general. We like all of those aspects. That's why we like the theater. And then I think buying physical media for theatrically released films is sort of our way of, paying back to the creators and saying, yes, we like this. We're voting with our dollar, so to speak, and saying, yes, we want more Anoras. We want more You know, we want more Ghoulies 2. We want more Pan's Labyrinth. We want to really respect and pay tribute to the auteurs that give us things we love.
It's a great answer. It sounds like we scripted it beforehand. I promise we did not. That's some of the best stuff. That was really, really well said. Ghoulies 2 is up on that list, by the way, because I remember walking through the horror section of my local video store wanting to watch my very first horror movie. And Ghoulies 2 was the one I went home with because I believe on the cover of Ghoulies 2 was the ghoulie in the toilet.
In the toilet.
And I was like, well, this looks like a safe choice to get into when I'm 5 years old, 6 years old, whatever it is. And it ended up being about a amusement park, like a fair, but like people were actually being tortured, but people thought they were walking through a haunted house. And it sounds like really awful, but it's really kind of campy and cheesy. And if I ever pull Ghoulies 2, I'll be very excited about that because it's going to be a hard find for sure, especially in these Second and Charles boxes, which have been really disappointing lately. I mean, I can't tell you how frustrated I've been here in studio. I mean, people have seen it, but like broken DVDs, missing DVDs, pirated DVDs. I mean, just the worst type of quality. And I'm like, when they're packing this stuff, how do they not know that they're packing all this garbage that isn't really promoting the authentic experience that you're going to have at the end of this deal? I don't know if you've had that same experience.
Recently, I did have an experience where I had a few discs that were missing and wrong disc, burnt discs. But I think it's just because I think we don't get good stuff because we like, obviously, horror, sci-fi, and those are the things that sell. And they're just getting rid of old stock. And there was a guy who I saw opening up a mystery box on YouTube, and it had to be staged because he was pulling some great horror movies out there. And it's like, I really don't think I've gotten almost any horror movies from anything I've gotten from Second and Charles. Yeah. And so you just got to find a different distributor for your mystery box.
Well, I feel
like the people who buy horror movies on physical media are buying them to keep and very much not getting rid of them later. Like, that's why we see a lot of animated kids movies in the box because the kids grow out of it and then those DVDs are just taking up space in your house.
Completely fair.
But horror movies are going to rewatch that and buy their comfort movies on DVD.
There's one movie I don't think will ever get a physical release, but it has gotten a digital release. It was shot right here in Birmingham, Alabama, which is the home base of the Culver studio. Tell us a little bit more about this movie because I have something to add to it.
Well, Neighborhood Watch is a movie that I recently found out about. I didn't even know that they had shot it in town until a friend of mine who's in the biz said I worked on this movie. I was like, oh, interesting. I need to check it out because I love stuff shot in Birmingham. I love location stuff. So anything that's shot in Birmingham, I can say, oh, I know where that is and stuff.
And this has some names attached to it.
I remember seeing the poster for this a while back. It's Jeffrey Dean Morgan and Jack Quaid.
Yeah.
And I watched it through some illegal means.
The authorities will be waiting for you outside when you get here.
Let's hope not.
I'll be quiet, you landlubber.
Yeah.
Those are two great actors, and it was unfortunately it was well shot, but the script just wasn't there, and I didn't care for either of the characters. And when you don't care for the characters, you start losing care for the movie. So
my best man from my wedding is in this movie.
Oh.
He is a background extra where I believe it's Jack Quaid sitting in like a police office, like a investigation room or something. And he comes in and makes a copy and then leaves, but you can clearly see it's him. And he leaves and he's been pushing me so hard. He's like, dude, you got to watch this movie I'm in. You got to watch this movie. And I'm like, just send me the clip of you in it. And it's like 3 seconds of him walking in and walking out. But
they don't disguise the fact that it is Birmingham because there's multiple times you can see that Birmingham on the side of a building. And, but yeah, it's, there's actually a scene that they shot over in Hoover at the DMV. And I was like, hey, that's where I got my driver's license. So,
yeah,
I think sometimes movies that are shot in Birmingham, I have a tendency to be in my head looking at where they are and not paying attention to the story. Maybe I need to watch it again.
Oh yeah, I'm sure it was you. That's very nice.
I'm
of
looking
you to
at
say in your review.
the Wikipedia page for this movie, and it says in Homewood, Alabama for the plot. So I
Right.
guess they didn't bother hiding it at all. They're just like, nope, this is a Homewood movie.
Yeah.
Right. You see a Homewood Police in a scene, and it says right on their car, Homewood Police. So
Yeah, I know that they went up there and they shot at the police headquarters there, which is why my buddy was in it. So, good report there. I hate that it didn't necessarily put Birmingham on the map as being something super quality, but
I always say, see it. Don't see it for yourself. Make a judgment for yourself. And also, I know, like I said, a lot of people who worked in it, and I want to see the film industry here in Birmingham do well.
100%.
So pay for it and see it. Like not like me.
there you go. Do what I say, not what I do.
Exactly.
Got it. Something you did that was great for us is, well, really for me, is this Dark Knight poster. And it's over here. I don't know how good of a shot it is going to be on camera. I'm sure it's great. But that is my favorite piece of art from the Dark Knight, where they're all holding up their different memorabilia in front of their face and covering it up. But I remember very clearly seeing these posters on the weekend in 2008 when I went to go see The Dark Knight for the first time. We talked about it extensively yesterday. Batman Begins, The Dark Knight Rises, The Dark Knight trilogy, and its impact. If you missed that episode and you'd like to do a deep dive once again on Batman Begins and celebrating its 20th anniversary, then join us for yesterday's show. It's right there on demand. Really good conversation. Really enjoyed that. So I appreciate you finding this. This was a thrift store find, which I highly recommend that people go check out the thrift stores. You never know what you're going to find. And this is an absolute steal because, I mean, I don't mind disclosing the price if you don't of what you were able to get this for. But $6.
Yeah.
Come on now. Home run.
With tax. Exactly. It was $6. And it's a really nice frame too. And it just goes to show you all the great stuff you can find at thrift stores. That's where I get a lot of my movies, a lot of VHS and the DVDs. And, it's one person's trash is another person's treasure.
For sure. We're
You
using
said $6 with the frame included.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
the
wow.
frame itself is worth probably 20.
Yeah,
easily.
exactly.
Easily. No, this was a home run. The minute you messaged me, hey, do you want this? I was like, I didn't know how to scream yes loudly through text, but I tried as hard as I could. So that's an awesome little surprise that made its way here to me. And I'm looking very forward to adding that to my Batman collection. I've got a lot of art, a lot of exciting things there going on with my Batman room. You also have delivered us a mystery box, but today is not a mystery box day. Tomorrow will be, because I don't like to open up mystery boxes that are donated in front of the people who donated them. So we will do that tomorrow, but you told me off the record, which I'm now making on the record, that you're pretty excited about us opening this one.
This is a mystery box unlike any other.
See what I'm talking about? When I hear stuff like that, I get jazzed to come into work. That's pretty exciting, right?
I mean, that's real exciting because the last one was the best box we've ever gotten. So
I'm going to start calling you Physical Media Claus. That's what I'm going to call you.
Ho, ho, ho.
There we go. I also gave you a task, Jason, of coming up with a list of summer movies that actually excite you, because the year, for the most part, has been very top-heavy with the releases we've gotten. Those things that have been great have been all-time greats, but those things that have just filled up the Cineplex have, for the most part, been fodder and filler. And I haven't really truly enjoyed this year as much as I would like, even though there's a couple of sneaky good things that I've seen. So when it comes to this summer, from now through the end of August and the box office slate, I feel like things are about to heat up to where we're getting something almost every week. And I want to know what's making your short list. How did you approach this task, Jason?
I went down the release schedule from now through the end of the summer, and I saw a few things that are obviouses, and then I saw a few things that, oh yeah, I'd forgotten that's coming out. Okay, cool.
Okay.
And then one kind of honorable mention that's like, oh well, that looks interesting. I hadn't even heard about that, and so that's how it went.
So let's start off with any honorable mentions you have right out the gate.
I'm an old guy.
I don't know how many of them there are, but
just one.
Just one, okay.
And it's a movie that looks very similar to the movie that came out last year called If, but it's called Sketch.
I have not seen anything about this movie.
I haven't seen anything about it either, but
I
like
either,
it.
and I was like, well, that looks interesting. And I went and watched the trailer, and it's about a little girl who I think has had some trauma in her life, and similar to the way If was. I think they lost a parent in If, and she has this little book that she sketches things, and the sketchbook falls into maybe a mystical pond or something, and all of a sudden her drawings come to life.
Wow. That is a good comparison there to If. If was a strange movie. It was tonally kind of all over the place. I don't think it was a bad movie. I think its heart is in the right place. I'm just not sure the execution is where I wanted it to be for If. But we actually have an If poster up on the wall, up on the top there behind Tyler. You're not able to see it on camera, but it's sort of an alternate poster that they gave out week of. Oh, you think you can point to it?
I'm gonna try it. It's hard. There we go. Okay. It's like above that smile too. There we go. I'm getting right in there now.
Okay.
Interesting thing about Sketch is it is an Angel Studios film.
Oh.
So you'll have to buy tickets for other people.
Got it. That's a funny.
At the end. I've liked a lot of the Angel Studios things, but obviously that is something that may turn some people off because they may feel it's preachy or whatnot. But it looked really interesting. The art direction, the creatures that she draws that come to life, look really cool. And so that's kind of a surprise that may actually kind of move up my list a little bit.
Wow. The truth is, all those other paying for other people's tickets actually probably funded this movie. So, good stuff there. All right, let's move on now to officially your list. We're getting it started with number 5.
Number 5, forgot this one's coming out, The Toxic Avenger.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
This is one that's sort of like sneakily not on people's radars.
Yeah, because obviously no advertising's happened for it yet. It will probably maybe a few weeks ahead of time. And I don't know how, the original Toxic Avenger, I think, was unrated. Or
this one is as well.
Is it unrated? Okay, so that's going to obviously keep a lot of people out and also probably hurt its advertising. But, Peter Dinklage, an interesting casting move there. But, I love Trema stuff. I love cheesiness. And if they don't play it safe and make it over the top like the original was, then I'm all in. I'm excited.
What's the release date on this? Do we know?
I did not write that down. I want to say it's August.
Okay.
I believe it is in August. I saw a teaser for it maybe a month or so ago. I believe it's digital only because, like you said, it is unrated. So that hurts the advertising campaign for it. But it looks absolutely wild. Elijah Wood looks gross in this movie.
I didn't even know he was in this.
Oh, yeah. He plays Fritz Garbinger.
Okay. Well, let me know if you get a date on that officially.
August 29th.
August 29th. So very late in the summer. Which you're right. They're going to have to heat up the marketing campaign on this a little bit. All right. Where are we going for number 4 of most anticipated of the summer?
If it comes out, Together.
I'm glad you say that because I'm one of the few people I think that's out there going, I'm not 100% sure this is coming out.
I saw a trailer. It's interesting. I took my daughters to see Bloodlines, Final Destination, because I would say the family that watches, horror together stays together, or dies together. I don't know. Anyway, and we saw the trailer for this, and it captivated them. I'm like, I've got one daughter that's 18, one that's 14. So I was like, 18-year-old, you can go see it. 14-year-old, I think we might want to hold off a few years.
Yeah.
But it looks very, very interesting.
Well, what can I say? I was 5 renting Ghoulies 2 at the movie store. I guess it worked out. I mean, we are sitting here talking.
I was 9 watching Saw.
That's way too young.
Shining at 5 years old, right here.
Woo. Jaws at 5 did a number on me for sure.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. All right, Together at number 4, which could have been the absolute grand slam dunk horror hit of the year, and it's been caught up in all this legal drama now of whether or not it's a complete ripoff. And I don't think general audiences are going to care if it gets released, if it's caught up in legal drama or not. But it is going to put a smudge on the release. It is going to sort of put a cloud over the release to where that's going to become part of this rollout, is them constantly having to answer for all of these accusations. So,
and if the accusations, hold any water, that's when damages come into play.
Oh, yeah.
And it's, you actively damaged my property because now you've put yours out, because right now there's technically no financial damages being accrued, I guess.
And you know what they may be thinking? Like, we need to release the movie and make some money so that way we can pay a settlement. That needs to be part of it.
That's another.
So we've got to release it so that way we can then pay, because we definitely ripped this off. I don't know. But that's maybe what they're thinking allegedly. Okay.
Or it could be all BS and trying to get some hype up for the movie.
You think they're playing that game of
don't
like,
know.
let's
You
take
never
this to
know.
the courts for a marketing campaign for the movie? Is that what they did?
Hey,
with
you
It
know.
Ends With Us? Is that the Justin Baldoni, Blake Lively thing of like, this is gonna? I don't
Any
know.
press is good press.
I don't know. All right, number 3. Where are we going next?
It's moved down the list a little bit. It's Fantastic Four.
Yeah. Why have they never gotten Fantastic Four right in a cinematic way?
The best thing that I've seen about Fantastic Four recently was the Pop-Tart ad. Have you seen the Pop-Tart ads for Fantastic? It's Fantastic Four.
I have not seen this.
And I just saw today, Little Caesars has a Fantastic Four pizza that's split into 4 sections. You can have 4 different pizzas kind of coming together as one.
Hot take. Nobody cares about the Fantastic Four. Like, it's never done well.
Is that a hot take?
I mean, to people who love Fantastic Four.
I guess.
Now, they're hoping to change that this July. The movie looks like it's going to create a lot of rage bait type of YouTube clicks for a lot of people. They're going to be upset about certain choices that they've made in this. I haven't seen the movie yet. You haven't seen the movie yet. You haven't seen the movie yet. What is it about Fantastic Four that gives you hope that it's going to be worthy of this spot? And why did you say it slid back a little bit?
I think because...
Wow.
Are you good?
Okay. Yeah, my chair just broke.
The monkey's not even in here, but
Yeah.
I will say Jason is the link between the monkey.
That's true.
Right.
Jason was there the night that the monkey was brought into our lives. Are you okay?
I'm good.
Sweating there.
I'm afraid to lean down and get that right now, but
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm afraid to move. I might need to get a different chair.
You're good. It was like there was an earthquake on just one side of the room.
Man,
Are you okay?
I'm good.
Okay. Man.
All right, I apologize. Continue.
You're okay. Is everything good equipment-wise? We're all good?
To my knowledge.
Okay, great.
What was the question?
The question was, why did Fantastic Four slide down your list?
It's not motivating me. I don't know. It's just there's nothing that I'm seeing in the advertise except for the pizza in the advertising that has gotten me like, oh my gosh, that's like nothing I've ever seen before.
Yeah.
And I don't know. Marvel is just even after Thunderbolts, it's just kind of like blah. I mean, it's just like just get over with all this stuff and let's get to Spider-Man and Doomsday.
I saw Pedro Pascal in a movie yesterday. I went to go see Materialists, and I fell asleep in the movie.
Explains why I didn't get an out of the theater reaction from
There you go. I know that's your philosophy. When you fall asleep in a movie, you don't shoot a review.
Exactly.
So I was following the legend there. But it's one of my least favorite movies of the year. It's a complete con job. They promote it as a romantic comedy. No, it's not a romantic
I
comedy.
was debating on seeing it tonight. You think I should skip out?
Oh, I think you should see it and do an out of the theater reaction.
Oh,
100%.
No,
Now you're
I
charged with
I
that.
don't like the sound of that.
I'm so rich and I'm so beautiful. Life is so problematic for me. It's like, oh, okay. I don't like Materialists. I think you would. I'm watching it going like, if Tyler watched this, he would be miserable. I think you should go see it. Definitely.
I did see an article today while scrolling for some future bits of tid that says the Materialist release has everybody bringing back this question. Can Dakota Johnson act? I'm like, man, that's bad.
I've never seen a movie that relies so much on talking about height the entire time.
Oh, no.
The entire time it is, well, they check the box of being over 6 feet. I mean, oh, well, you know, this person's 5'9". Oh, well, 5'11". Oh, well, you're actually 6'2". You are a great It was just constant just height discussion the entire movie.
I like how 5'9" was the shortest in there.
Yeah.
I'm subhuman to the Materialist cast, I guess.
Yeah. I think I was the only guy in there. And you know what? I don't care because Daddy-O was one of my favorite movies of last year.
Right.
Starring Dakota Johnson. And it was like a sneaky, good little like back and forth, well-written thing. This is so melodramatic. And there's one line in the movie where, I mean, I'm not spoiling the Materialist for you, but there's one line in the movie where someone uses an expletive and says the word pimp. And I was like, thought it was the funniest thing ever. And no one else in there is laughing. They're all taking it deathly serious. So
Is it
anyway,
Pedro Pascal that says that?
it's not Pedro Pascal that says that. But if you watch the movie Tyler, I cannot wait to hear what you think about it. Okay, let's move on to just imagine a lot of women shrieking on screen and talking about height and it being super vapid, but also wanting to be very serious piece. We'll talk about it more. Okay, let's move on. Number 2. Is it Materialists?
No. Naked Gun.
Oh, yeah.
Naked Gun has come out of nowhere because when I first heard that Liam Neeson, I was like, no. But it's got me. And I just recently, I was in the mood to watch something corny and popped on Airplane and just laughed my butt off. And I was like, I need a movie like Naked Gun. And it's coming at the perfect time. And I think it's going to do gangbusters.
You think so?
I think it will.
Like gangbusters means what in today's day for comedy?
Relatively speaking, I mean,
$200 million would be.
No. I mean, I think it'll make 25 to 30 million opening week. That's pretty good.
That would be a solid opening.
Very,
for an
very
R-rated
solid
comedy. Yeah,
over $100 million domestically in its run. Like I feel like that right there is the real benchmark.
Yeah, close.
That's a certified hit. If it's over $100 million, that's like, wow, for that movie.
I think it's going to be such a goofy movie that people will go just to see the absurdity of it.
I hope
so too. Because I mean, when was the last time we had? And I don't count those, Van Helsing or whatever, all those movies, teen movie and all those rip-off things that went straight to DVD. When's the last time we had a really good spoof movie that was so tongue-in-cheek like this? And I really can't. I mean, a scary movie.
Yeah, I was going to say
movie,
scary movie.
Scary movie. Okay, the Naked Gun there with the number 2 spot. Tyler and I are very high on this as well. We really enjoyed the last trailer. You can check out our reaction. It's up here on the channel if you haven't seen that, but it is up there. All right, let's move on to number 1, the movie you are most excited about. I hope it is the one that is shared with us. We will see.
It would be the re-release of One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. I'm just kidding. No,
love that movie, by the way.
I've never seen that movie.
I'll be going.
I know. There's always this group of movies that I've never seen that I need to see.
It's good.
And I feel guilty not having seen them.
Super depressing, but super good.
Yeah. No, obviously, yes, the number 1 movie this summer is Superman. And I'm caught up in the buzz, and I feel like I can't watch a video online without some type of Superman commercial being shoved in my face. I do want to get the Superman hat with the, I like the new S. I saw your shirt, and I've been trolling the internet trying to find a hat that I like of it, and I've been looking at the toys. I haven't bought anything, but I've found myself walking down the toy aisle.
Same thing.
Those toys can be spoilers.
They can be.
Yeah, there are some.
I don't like any of the toys. Like, I don't really like the look of any of them that I saw. Now, I went to Target. I'm sure there's other exclusives other places, but I didn't see any toys that I thought looked really, really good. But
I thought they were. There's one, I think, where Superman is punching the big monster thing, and the ooze comes out of his stomach. That's a fun play feature.
Correct.
I wouldn't necessarily buy it for that. But, obviously, yeah. I usually buy stuff and leave it in the package or put it on a shelf. And I don't know. I haven't pulled the trigger on buying a Superman toy yet. I'm waiting to see the movie. If the movie resonates with me and I like it, then I might have to buy it, because I do have the Christopher Reeve Superman that is he's got the cape with that you can kind of whatever you call it, you pose it, and you can pose him flying. And if this guy's a good Superman, then Christopher Reeve may end up with a friend on the shelf.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant like in another friend's life. I was like, you're just going to give Christopher Reeve away like that? Don't do that.
I would never do that.
Look, he was so built for that role, Christopher Reeve, that it has taken forever to find something else that hits with that same level of magic. But it's not just about Christopher Reeve. It's also about audiences have changed. The expectations that we have going into these movies now, we can't be as wowed by, oh, there's a man flying on screen. That's not enough. And how they're going to make Superman relatable for the modern audience is going to be the biggest task that James Gunn has. And will he be successful in that? I have said from the get, I think he will be. I think it's an incredibly tough task, but if he can make Guardians work, he can make Superman work. And everyone has sort of their mindset and their mind made up of what Superman is to them. how he's going to go into that compared to Guardians where he had a blank slate. It's going to be a real challenge and a real tough thing. But I think if there's anybody built for the job, it's James Gunn.
I'm a little worried, though. I'm hearing some scuttlebutt about re-editing going on, that it was too jokey, and they've cut some of the joking out of that. Warner Brothers has a tendency to just screw with movies until the bitter end, or just take them and throw them away like they did with Batgirl. And so I don't know. But you don't never know if these are Snyder apologists that are trying to get some bad buzz going on. So I'm optimistic, but hearing things like that worry me a little bit.
So there we have it, your list of the 5 movies you're looking most forward to seeing in the coming months. The Toxic Avenger at number 5 spot, Together at number 4, Fantastic Four at number 3, The Naked Gun at number 2, number 1, Superman. The one you missed on this list that I promise you're going to see, and you're going to go, Tim, should have been on this list. Do you know what I'm about to say?
Weapons?
Yep, that's the one. Yeah. You're going to walk out of that movie and you're going to go, should have listened to my buddy Tim. Because that one should have been on here, because Weapons is going to be amazing. That's my prediction. And I hope I don't miss on this.
It looks good, but just finishing up on the Superman point, I did see some reports of re-editing going on, taking out some dirtier jokes James Gunn mentioned, and also they had gone with a days of the week, almost like episodic format during the movie. Where there were these interstitial scenes with a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, so on graphics. And they got rid of that after some test screenings. So I'm not sure if that's what the re-editing is referring to or if there's some deeper work going on.
Well, maybe you need some deeper work going on in your mouth. And there's one place that I would recommend. That's Alabama Dental Associates. Alabama Dental, they get in there nice and deep light. And they take care of business. I was actually hanging out with Dr. Brian last night at the poker table. He knocked me out. If you get knocked out, lose a few teeth in the process, then head on over to my friends. That is the best dentist team in the town. That is on Grants Mill Road, Dr. Jeff, Dr. Brian, Dr. Nolan over at Alabama Dental Associates, providing you all those services when it comes to staying on top of your dental health. It is so important, I should say, for you to make sure you are getting those regular checkups and you're on that routine and you have those dates on the calendar where you were going to go and visit with your dentist. Your dentist can be my dentist right there at Alabama Dental Associates. Go ahead and give them a call now. You're seeing all the services that they provide flash across your screen. You can call them at 205-956-8977 or visit alabamadental.com where they look forward to seeing you. Jim Dunaway has actually, he's now a patient at Alabama Dental. So he has seen the light, and he knows it is the premium experience here. And I have taken his whiteboard in order to be able to play a little game that we call Best versus Favorite. So the way this game works is everyone's got a whiteboard. I need you guys to sort of copy this template right here. Best fave, best favorite, whichever one you want to go with. And you are going to write down what you believe is an actor or actress's best movie in their filmography, and what's your favorite movie of theirs in their filmography on the board. It's a little fun game that we've played once before. We're going to play it again here, and I'm going to hit the random button and assign an actor or actress to somebody. Have you seen this?
You need a sound effect for this.
Well, I have some music playing.
That would be a
you're
good,
right.
Random generator sound.
You're
I
right.
agree.
I'll just do it.
Maybe I'll just do the oosh. I'll just do the oosh. That's actually perfectly timed. All right, we're going to go to Jason first. Jason, your actor is Bruce Willis. You have to choose what you believe is their best film overall and what your favorite film of theirs is overall. And if you're in the chat, you get to play on every single one of these. So let us know. With Bruce Willis, what do you think is the best movie? What do you think is his favorite movie? I did hear Lance reference a Bruce Willis movie the other day on the air when I was producing. It was Unbreakable. He was talking about Unbreakable. I don't know if that's going to be in contention. Do you have your choices?
I do.
All right. Are you confident in them?
Absolutely.
Here we go. Let's show the camera.
It is Unbreakable
Oh,
and Die Hard.
best Unbreakable, favorite Die Hard. Tell me about your relationship with both of these movies.
Unbreakable, saw it when it came out. Obviously, it was riding on the coattails of The Sixth Sense. And as I've watched it through the years, I've enjoyed it more and more. And I just think he portrays this kind of quiet character that's has a secret. And yeah, it's a good movie.
Jody says that Die Hard is also his favorite, but that Sixth Sense is his best movie that he's made.
You know, I've gone back to Unbreakable more than The Sixth Sense for some reason.
I don't think The Sixth Sense is nearly as good I'm going to say the third time around. Second time, it makes sense because you're like picking up on some little things and like, oh, okay, now I know the twist. The third time, it's like, I don't want to watch this.
Yeah, you do have to watch it a second time to be like, oh, I see. Oh, I see. Yeah, well, okay. And then the third time, you're like, okay.
Yeah, what's going on here? I just don't think it's a great rewatch, but that's my opinion. I've never been a big fan of The Sixth Sense.
I think I would have gone Pulp Fiction somewhere in this for me. Because I really do like that segment in Pulp Fiction where he's the boxer, gets the watch from Christopher Walken.
Great choice. All right, this one is going to me. Arnold Schwarzenegger is the answer here, or is the participant.
All right, so Jingle All the Way for both, right?
Hey, I love Jingle All the Way.
I know you do. That's why I said that.
Hercules in New York.
I haven't seen that.
Now, little tit of bit or bit of tit here is Pumping Iron. Part of that movie was filmed here in Birmingham.
Oh.
And Arnold Schwarzenegger, I always have a hard time with that name.
Tough name.
Actually was here in town and at a bookstore. I think he had his like workout book out, and my brother got a signature from him right here in Birmingham.
It's really cool.
I've got a really hot take.
Yeah?
I got a really hot take. So for best, I wanted to go Terminator 2.
Yeah. Well, obviously.
I did not. I did not. I actually think the movie I'm choosing is a better movie than Terminator 2, and it's going to get me murdered here. But I think the best is Kindergarten Cop. I'm not kidding. And I think my favorite is Last Action Hero.
Satuma.
Kindergarten Cop, think about it. Think about it for a second. Terminator's already awesome. Yeah. Terminator 2 enhanced that awesomeness, no doubt, and I think that is probably going to be the popular answer, okay? And I get that. Kindergarten Cop on paper should not work as well as it does.
I agree with that.
That movie is impossible to get right. The music in it is kind of like 90s sitcom feel, and the character actors that they have for there, the bad guy, who's going to be a bad guy that really seems intimidating compared to Arnold Schwarzenegger in sort of a city cop setting. The way it starts off like a Terminator movie, by the way.
It does.
So it's almost like Terminator 1.5 or something, the way it starts off. And it goes into this super sweet, super funny, super dramatic, super traumatic movie in Kindergarten Cop. I think Kindergarten Cop is the best movie that Arnold Schwarzenegger's ever made, and I'm standing by it.
Best movie or best performance?
Best movie. Best movie. And he has to be perfect in it. All right, y'all tell me what your answers are for this, for Arnold Schwarzenegger. How far off am I in my pitch here?
Fave, I got to go with Predator.
It's fair. It's right over your shoulder right there. Yeah. Predator, I love Predator too. Arnold Schwarzenegger is a tough one. That's a tough one because I think there's a lot of directions you can go. How bad is the chat roasting me right now?
Hunter says, Tim, what in the world? Brian says, I agree, Tim. He actually had that act in Kindergarten Cop.
Thank you, Brian
Terminator
Pavlik.
2, he just played a robot. But that's my fave.
Terminator 2.
And you still left it out.
Terminator 2 is fantastic. Don't get me wrong. But Kindergarten Cop is like a masterclass of all different genres blended into one. And you get that Terminator flavor. So I have no apologies. And I'm not going to say sorry.
I think Arnold may have done his best acting in Maggie.
Maggie?
Maggie.
I was going to go Junior, where he has to play a pregnant man. Batman and Robin. Okay, next. All right, we had that one last time. Okay, Tyler, your actor is Matt Damon.
Matt Damon.
Matt Damon. If you want to pass, you can. If you don't like the choice, you can pass it over to Jason. He'll take it from you.
No. If I passed, I'd just want another actor so I can play the game.
Well, we got more game to play, so that's not going to be a problem.
Okay.
Matt Damon. What is his best movie and what is your favorite movie of his?
I'm honestly struggling to think of a lot of Matt Damon movies.
They don't have Bourne in the title.
I'm not the biggest Bourne guy.
So,
Like, I know where I'm going for my favorite, and the chat knows as well.
yeah. For me, best and favorite would be the same.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to do that. Departed for both.
Departed for both. I would go Oppenheimer for both because
He was in that?
Who was he in Oppenheimer?
Matt Damon played like the general in Oppenheimer. He was like
Oh
the.
yeah. There's so many people in that movie.
Well, I got it. I didn't think that was like a random pull. I thought that y'all both. The fact that y'all are both like he was in that movie.
I didn't remember him in that at all, but yeah, you're absolutely right.
I
He
did
is
see the
general.
movie 6 times in theaters.
I saw it 3 times.
Yeah.
Still didn't remember he was
Yeah.
in there. Oh, yeah, no, Jody. Yeah, I totally forgot about Good Will Hunting. Yeah, that's best. Departed's favorite. Got to change my answer.
Oh, you're changing yours.
Yeah, thank you, Jody.
That's an ultimate win for Jody there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good Will Hunting has just some of the best acting.
I've never been big on Matt Damon. Never been big on Matt Damon. All right, next up. I don't know how deep you can go here, Jason, but I'm going to give you this. James McAvoy. James McAvoy.
Can I pass?
You can.
Yeah,
You want to pass?
Yeah, it's not a lot to choose from there. I mean, I guess I could.
You got X-Men First Class, X-Men Days of Future Past, X-Men Apocalypse.
Now we're just workshopping.
Yeah,
it.
I'm going to pass on that one.
X-Men First Class would be my favorite for sure.
It's a good one.
My wife continues to hassle me about wanting to see Speak No Evil. And I swore off that movie because the marketing campaign was so egregiously annoying to me.
Uh,
Have you not seen it?
I've chosen not to. And she's like, we've got to watch this movie. So I'm going to eventually have to watch that.
it's actually really solid.
One of my favorites from last year.
Split. I mean, we're a lot of M. Night today, but maybe Split for best.
I think
Yeah,
so.
that was a good performance from him.
He was fantastic in that movie. So anyway,
Like, what was that?
Well, Jody,
Wanted?
once again, going Split for best, First Class for favorite.
oh yeah, I'm
So,
right there. I'm right there with Jody.
Jody's on the right on the pulse today.
All right, I'm going back to Jason.
All right, yes.
Are you ready?
Part 2, yes.
John Travolta. Okay, and now I started to see the lights turn on there. He
Oh, there's lots of lights to turn on
okay.
for Travolta.
That sounded worse than it meant to sound, I think, but
Was it Battlefield Earth or Spaceship Earth?
Battlefield Earth.
Battlefield
Battlefield
Earth.
Earth, yeah.
Basically, just like a Scientologist movie.
what is the best John Travolta movie? What is your favorite John Travolta movie? It's actually kind of a tricky question.
Ooh, I hear thunder. The gods are angry.
Can I ask which one you're struggling on more, the best or the favorite?
Kind of both.
Oh.
There's I think I've got it. It's like which one do I want to put where? Actually, I'm gonna flop them. I'm gonna add a little arrow here because my favorite one is Pulp Fiction.
Okay.
The best one I think is Blowout.
Okay, I don't know anything about Blowout.
It's a Guy De Carey, the director. I'm sorry, I had
I
De Palma. It's a De Palma film.
yeah, okay. Brian De Palma.
Ron De Palma. Yeah, yeah. I remember in film school doing. There's a lot of it's audio. I think he's an audio. If I remember correctly, I haven't seen it in a lot of years, but I just remember it resonated with me. He's an audio engineer, and it's very Hitchcockian, as a lot of De Palma stuff is. And I just thought that he wasn't his usual, Travolta self in that movie, and it's kind of stuck with me as something that's I need to go back and watch it again.
I'm reading the premise for it, and I really like the sound of it. I should check it out. So it's written and directed by Brian De Palma, like you said. And the premise is, while recording sound effects for a slasher flick, Jack Terry, played by John Travolta, stumbles upon a real-life horror, a car careening off a bridge and into a river. Yeah, well, I'll look into it. And it's in political thriller, neo-noir, drama, suspense, thriller, mystery, detective fiction, and police procedural.
Everybody knows when John Travolta passes away, the number one movie that's going to be associated with him is Grease.
Or Saturday Night Fever.
It's going to be Grease. Okay. I mean, that's an honest debate.
Yeah, sure. Yeah,
it's going to be Grease, right?
Is one of my favorites, and I almost put Grease down, but I was trying to dig a little deeper.
I would put Grease for best. I would put Face Off for my favorite. I love Face Off.
Face Off's great.
And he's hamming it up on there, and it's crazy.
You didn't want to do Trading Paint, another local
no,
film.
But I remember him being in town, everybody getting pictures.
Oh, I've got the DVD of it.
Tyler, you're the only one I think that can bring us home on this one.
What's that?
Shia LaBeouf.
My boy. All right, so best and favorite.
Just do it.
It's the Just Do It video. I watched that this morning. And I was scrolling Instagram, and it popped up on my feed.
Okay.
And I was just like, I remember this video, and it's awesome.
I'm not picking Kingdom of the Crystal Skull for this.
We're trying to remember all the stuff he's in that's not Transformers or Indiana Jones.
I don't want to give Tyler any sort of cheat sheet here.
No.
Let's see what he comes up with.
Yeah, there's a couple of interesting.
By the way, Brian Pavlik on Travolta says best Grease, favorite Pulp Fiction, Jody, best Phenomena, and favorite Pulp Fiction.
Another Travolta film here locally, the Fan, that was shot here locally.
Really?
Travolta was here for a good 6 months filming stuff.
Where are we at, Tyler?
I think I'm good with this.
Okay, what you got?
All right, so for the best role he's ever done, I'm gonna go with Fury. I really like his acting in Fury.
Yeah.
And favorite, Holes. You guys knew I was going Holes for favorite.
Yeah. Tyler's a big fan of that project and that book. He was in a movie called Disturbia, which came out in
that was the one I was thinking about.
2007, which was a take on Rear Window. And it was fine.
Didn't he also do that sex movie that was cut in two? I
don't remember.
I can't remember it.
Nymphomaniac by Lars von Trier.
Yes.
I want to say he was in that. I know Willem Dafoe was definitely in that.
I'm going to take this one. It's Daniel Craig.
Well, that's an easy one.
I feel like it's the same for both for me, but I'm having to think through it.
I've got a good Daniel Craig one that most people don't think about.
Daniel Craig. Man.
Casino Royale for both.
Yeah.
There you go.
It's the best. It's my favorite. Could you go the Knives Out movies? I don't think you could. Could you go Skyfall and I'd be okay with it? Absolutely.
I liked Invasion. Remember with Nicole Kidman? I thought that was a pretty good kind of sci-fi. I wasn't expecting that from him and her.
There was a haunted house movie that he made that I thought was pretty good, and I cannot remember the name of it. But it got panned, but I actually thought it was pretty good.
Was he in the movie about the tsunami?
No, that was Ewan McGregor.
Okay. Sorry.
Yeah. Him and Naomi Watts, I believe, are in that. Yeah. Okay. Daniel Craig, kind of a boring one, and I'm sorry for that because I think it is like a clear answer there. All right. I don't know who to go with this one. I almost feel like it should go back to me.
Play along at home.
Yeah. I think I'm going to take this one again. This is Will Ferrell.
Ooh. That's tough. I mean, I know where I'd go for like favorite, but it's the best Will Ferrell movie. Are we going Holmes and Watson?
All right, hear me out. Hear me out. I got it. Did 2 different movies too, which is tough for me.
Nice.
For best, I'm going Step Brothers. For favorite, I'm going Anchorman.
I respect it, yeah.
You respect this?
I'm not a big Anchorman fan.
Oh,
And I like Will Ferrell in small 3-minute sketches.
so Austin Powers, basically.
Yeah.
Okay. Not a lot of pushback on those, but just pushback on Will Ferrell in general. Okay.
See, I think Step Brothers is the best. That's where I would have gone. But for favorite, I think I probably would have gone best and favorite Step Brothers. But Wedding Crashers, his role in Wedding Crashers,
Fantastic.
was great.
Old school.
Old school, I feel like it was sort of what got us ready for Wedding Crashers and what he ended up taking on there. But we're going streaking.
Yeah.
Okay. Going with Jason. Tommy Lee Jones. What do you think is his best? What do you think is your favorite? I don't think Batman Forever is going to make the list.
I don't think it will.
I don't think there was a movie I believe called Man of the House where he plays a Texas Ranger at a sorority.
What?
Yeah.
I'm looking that up right now. I've
Yeah.
never heard of that.
Here's a little bit of random information about Tommy Lee Jones. He was in the first episode of Charlie's Angels.
Really?
Yes.
And he looked the exact same age he looks now, probably.
He's
He's always looked like an old man to me.
he has. He has.
Anyway, all right. Do you have your answers?
Yeah, one of them's kind of a mulligan here, but the best is going to be The Fugitive, and my favorite, Cobb, because I'm in it. I actually share screen time with Tommy Lee Jones in Cobb.
You are one of the most interesting people I've ever run across.
How many degrees away from Kevin Bacon are you?
Has Tommy Lee Jones been in a movie with Kevin Bacon?
That's
Maybe.
a good question.
He's been in a lot of movies, so I can play 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon with me and get to a lot of actors pretty quickly. As a matter of fact, my daughter and I were playing that last night. We were actually taking 2 different actors and connecting them and stuff. But I was like, well, just get me and Tommy Lee Jones. But there's a scene where Tommy Lee Jones is up to bat as Ty Cobb, and I am in the crowd. I can point myself out. I have picture proof that that's me in costume. It is a little out of focus and fuzzy, but if you believe me, then believe it.
So Kevin Costner and Tommy Lee Jones, Kevin Costner, Kevin Bacon, all in JFK. So
Boom. There you
We
go.
got done.
you're what, 2 degrees of separation from Kevin Bacon?
And Lee Harvey Oswald.
Oh,
All right.
that's true.
Next up, I'm going to take this one. Robert De Niro.
Ooh.
Robert De Niro.
Wow, you can just so many.
A lot of different places with there. Is Little Fockers going to be on here?
It is not, but you're getting good at the game because you're starting to throw out things that won't be on there. So that's what I'm looking for. All right, I got this done pretty quick. Best is Goodfellas. Favorite is Joker, 2019.
Solid choice.
He plays Murray Franklin, and unfortunately, Joker Folia Du has sort of ruined a lot of people's love of this movie down here. But yeah, best Goodfellas, favorite Joker. I will watch Goodfellas any day over any part of the Godfather trilogy. Any day. You tell me both are on basic cable, I'm watching Goodfellas. Am I wrong for that, Jason? Is that a horrible take?
No, not at all. And you also got Heat.
Oh, yeah. That diner scene with him and Pacino.
Oh, I could watch. I just put that on. Get me a YouTube clip of that and put it on repeat.
Anytime it is recommended, I will watch that. But to me, that scene is so good that it kind of outshines the rest of the movie for me.
Yeah.
That's my opinion. All right, next up, we're winding this down. We are going to go with. I'm going to go with Tyler on this one.
Alrighty.
Tom Hanks is your actor. Tom Hanks.
this one.
What is Tom Hanks' best movie, and what is your favorite Tom Hanks movie? Can be two very different answers, can be two very similar answers. You've got a lot of top-heavy filmography here from Tom Hanks.
Mm-hmm.
Tyler's working through it.
Okay, yeah, I'm pretty set on the best.
Okay.
I don't think I'm gonna get any push back on that one. I just gotta start chopping out which of his movies I don't think are my favorite of his. Ooh.
As soon as you're locked in, I'll read some of these other choices from the chat.
Tom Hanks is in one of my least favorite movies of all time.
Is it by chance Cloud Atlas?
No.
Because that movie sucks. I hate that movie.
No.
Anyway.
Joe versus the Volcano.
Oh. Yeah.
That's my top 10 of worst movies ever.
You were rooting for the volcano?
All right.
Okay.
I'm locked in.
You're locked in? What you got?
I went with the best Tom Hanks performance being Saving Private Ryan. I don't think there's any dispute about that. But my favorite, Catch Me If You Can.
I think that's solid.
Great knock joke in that movie.
For
Tom
best,
Hanks.
I would go Saving Private Ryan for best as well. But for favorite, I would go Castaway. I like Castaway.
I've got Castaway for best, and what's the one he did where he was the captain?
Captain Phillips.
Yeah. For some reason, I kept on thinking Captain Morgan. No, that's not.
No.
Captain Phillips.
I am the
think is
captain now.
I think it's his best acting in any movie.
No, I agree with that. I actually do agree with that. But remember, it's the caveat is it best performance or best movie? And I always lean it's best movie.
I thought that movie was a really good movie too.
Yeah. Okay, here we go.
If it was best performance, I would have had the Good Day in the Neighborhood movie in the mix.
So what I have done is I've randomly told this program to give me 3 actors. I'm going to name an actor and you tell me whether or not you want them. But I'm not going to tell you all 3 of them. So you may get stuck with one you don't want. Okay? Since you are our guest, Jason, I'm going to let you go first, okay? Al Pacino. Do you want Al Pacino or do you want to pass?
Absolutely want Al Pacino.
Okay, you get Al Pacino. Tyler. Steve Carell.
Pass.
Okay, you get Brad Pitt.
I'll take it.
Okay, I get Steve Carell. Tyler, you get Brad Pitt. Jason, you get Al Pacino. And we're going to see where we are here. So Steve Carell. All right. Tell me when y'all are locked in. I'm done.
I think I'm gonna have to lock in one answer for both.
Oh, okay. For
Yeah,
Brad Pitt?
I'm going through and I'm just like, man, yep, yeah. I think this is the one.
We see a Brad Pitt movie next week in
Yes, we
F1.
Locked.
You're locked in? Okay, so we're going to start off with who was first. That was Al Pacino. And so that means, Jason, you're up.
I mean, you just got to go with The Godfather for every. I mean, and not even. I didn't like this. A lot of people like the second Godfather, but the first one, it just. And honorable mention, I liked his performance in Scent of a Woman. You know, he won the Oscar. Hoo-ah!
Yeah.
But I mean, just got to go with Godfather.
Okay. We talked about Heat, obviously, in that scene and everything. Keep that on a YouTube algorithm there. Next up was Steve Carell. I'm going with the best being Dan in Real Life, and my favorite being Anchorman, of course. I love Lamp, and I love Brick Tamlin in Anchorman. So those are my 2. Dan in Real Life, sneaky good movie if you've never seen it. It's one of those movies that's great to watch with a sweater on in the fall. Like, there's a certain category of films where it's just like you want to just have the leaves rustling and watch a movie. Dan in Real Life is one of those.
Have you seen Beautiful Boy?
Oh, man, such a good movie.
Yeah, I saw that very recently, and my main takeaway from that movie was, dang, I didn't know Steve Carell had dramatic chops like that.
Was that Marvin movie he was in? Marvin? whatever.
Oh, Welcome to Marwin.
That looked
Yeah.
interesting, but I just didn't want to, like, you know.
No interest in that
It
at
looked like Walter Mitty adjacent. You know what I mean?
all. Correct. Tim, stay away from this.
Yeah.
All right, what you got for Brad Pitt?
All right, so I struggled with this one. Favorite was easy. It's 7. But best, I was going through and I'm like, no, I wouldn't put Fight Club above 7, although I do like Fight Club. Wouldn't put Benjamin Button above Fight Club, or 7.
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood?
Wouldn't put Once Upon a Time in Hollywood over 7. And I just did this over and over again through all my favorite Brad Pitt movies and Glorious Bastards, and just couldn't find a single movie that I would put above 7. So 7 for both.
There we go. Okay, that is going to do it for us here on this latest edition of Best versus Favorite. We appreciate all those playing along here in the chat as we have some people hyped up for F1, including Hunter Bussey, who will be seated right next to me for that one. Justin saying, bonus best favorite movie, Robert E.T. Absolutely.
Oh man, that was great. There have been many times where I've been looking at my phone at like a canvas of Robert E.T. and thought, do I buy this for the Meltdown studio? And then I haven't, but I want a Robert E.T. canvas hanging somewhere in this studio.
Hunter and Jody, both big fans of the show today. We appreciate you guys. And I want to, one of my favorite answers that I did not throw out myself that I absolutely love. This is for Charles. Charles threw out The Burbs for Tom Hanks.
I saw that in the chat and thought you would appreciate it.
Goodness sakes, I love The Burbs, and it just completely slipped my mind. So this game can be tricky because, especially when you're under the bright lights and you want to make sure you don't miss like one of those heavy hitters that's always been something you've clung to in your life. Mm-hmm. You don't want to miss that when you are writing it down. So I feel like without the ability to really write it down and think about it, it could go south if you just blurt out something. But The Burbs, I love. You guys were great today, and we really appreciate Jason Collier being here with us. Jason, hope you'll come back and see us sometime very soon. But tomorrow, your legacy lives on because we will have a mystery box to unveil, and I'm very excited about that. Make sure if you haven't already, hit that thumbs up button for us. It really does help here with the Meltdown. We love joining you on a daily basis, and we love when you visit our title sponsor. That is MyBookie at MyBookie.ag. You can bet on anything, anywhere, anytime there at MyBookie.ag. Use that promo code NEXTROUND for that first-time deposit bonus. We will see you again very soon right here on the Meltdown.